Take a chance, beating now. My face and make her know. Wake up, Ichika, Bachika, take a heart, little show. Out of a shield and nothing. How to get out and survive.
Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. What can I say?
Here goes!
Is that all you got?
About Dragon Ball Z. Burst Limit. That is one freaking awesome game to actually play.
Kaioken times 4!
After playing the terrible Ultimate Tenkaichi, it's finally good to go back to something that is actually decent. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things that, you know, is different about it. But I love the way how it's been fleshed out. I love it.
I did it.
First off, the tutorial mode does not make you feel like an idiot. It actually teaches you things and tips and tricks to get through it so you can actually feel good about it. And also, it stays as close to true to the series as it possibly can.
Whoa! Sorry! Go on. Yeah, I want to try too!
Fight!
I thought I was a gorilla! I'm sorry! Are you alright?
Uh-oh, go on! Something with unbelievable power is coming!
You're right! Do you think it could be?
Hide, quick!
Right!
Which I like. And it still has the original voice actors and none of those Kai voice actors. So if that's any of how y'all people don't like, we're still good. There's no Kai in this one. Now it goes only to the 3 sagas, the 3 main sagas that we know, which is I think it was good to where it should have stopped, but they went on. But I think this is where it should have stopped. They have the Saiyan Saga, they have the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, and the Cell Saga. They have all those sagas, and you get to play through multiple story maps. Like when you do one map, it unlocks another map somewhere else. And it's like when you look at it, it's just a big graph of a map of all the stories you can play. And I still love it because you get the side stories and the main story, and you get to understand what happened in between and what through. Now I'm saying if you really want to get into the series of Dragon Ball Z, I would start with the Budokai series because that's the best way to get to it. But hey, if you want to get into it, this just has a good short way of it. Now, the battle system in this game is the general battle system that you would have in a game. The life bar, the meter that you would charge up, and this one has an exhaust meter. So after you take a ton, if you do a ton of moves, you overexert yourself, you'll get exhausted. And after you take a whole bunch of attacks, you'll be knocked out of your Super Saiyan state or whatever state you may be in. You'll be exhausted, and you gotta mash buttons fast enough so you won't be knocked into, so you won't get pretty much knocked out for a free combo. Now, for what this game has for the charge meter is that it's special because you get to choose which one you want. So instead of like, you know, it's not like a balanced charge system. That's the one thing. It should have been a little bit more balanced. But they pretty much have everything set to a certain thing for each move to be set up to. and that's what each one sets for the charge moves. Like when you do Warp Kamehameha, you need 5 bars to get it, or if you're trying to do Spirit Bomb, you just need 3 bars. So you choose which ones you want, and that determines how you're going to use your special gauge. Sometimes an advantage, sometimes it's a big disadvantage. It all depends on your personal opinion and how you can work with that character. Now, how it charges, by the way, you don't do no supercharge or anything or sit there. You charge the meter by beating the crap out of your opponent and letting him know who the man of the hour is. You go and punch the freaking crap out of your opponent, you gain your meter, then you go Super Saiyan and you do the same crap over and over. You can still teleport just like in Budokai 3, to where you can teleport to avoid attacks. Even if you're in the middle of an attack, you can get through it somehow. It's weird timing, but hey, if you can survive getting hit half the time, go ahead for it. But they do have clashing, and clashing is pretty much everything. It has to hit at the same time. It has to hit at the same time. If you're even a second late, that blast can go right. No, you have to be on time, on point for the clash attacks, which is pretty fun. I like doing them. But I don't do it as often because when you fight the CPU, they just kind of say, I'm going to screw you over right here and now, and I'm not going to worry about it 5 minutes. Also, they have skill sets that you can use, which is probably under a different name, but I'm calling them skill points, to where for certain characters, you get to choose your own support character, and each one has their own support skill to you. So, you can choose, actually, Bardock, and you have Gohan be, like Kid Gohan be Bardock's support, and what makes it awesome is that the support will actually react to that character. So Gohan actually replies to Bardock as his grandpa, and not just a random guy. So that's actually kind of neat. So they'll actually talk for that character, and what the skill sets do. When a certain thing happens during the game, it'll stop it for that mid-second to do a little mini cutscene. Some people had a gripe about these, but I actually like them because it gets the full experience of how Dragon Ball Z is at times. It's because they'll be in the middle of a fight, something happens straight in the middle, they go through a super power-up mode, or they block an attack, or somebody intervenes, and then the fight continues on. So this is actually a good thing for me that I actually enjoy because it gets the experience in there a lot more. So like when you're about to die, you take that last hit and somebody throws you a senzu bean at the last second, you know, in there so you can have another fighting chance. It's actually pretty neat.
That can't be right! I am a Super Saiyan!
Gohan, I'm coming!
You win! Wait, that's it? Boring.
Now, the attack system is pretty basic. Triangle and square and triangle are to attack. Circle is your blast attack, and X is pretty much your block. Now, your trigger gauges are what's going to make or break everything. When you hit triangle and R2, that's what does a supercharged punch that, if you miss, it will leave you open. But if you hit your opponent, it'll stun them for a big, long time. It'll stun from time, so you can either go into a Kamehameha, Super Big Bang, whatever you want to go into to do a lot of damage. But they'll be stunned. They still can warp out of it, but they'll be stunned for a big time to do a move on them. The R1 gauge, L1 gauge, activate the L1. Activates your burst meter. Activates your burst limit. When you have full meter, you go into burst mode. And in that mode, when you hit that R2 trigger, you uppercut your opponent, and then go to a climactic scene to where y'all have a button mash fight to the death.
Take that!
Let's fight!
In the middle, you go in an even stalemate. If you win, you will knock your opponent to a different screening. If you lose, your opponent will just block outdo your attack and just knock you back. But it's a fun clash scene. Each one is not really the same. Sometimes it will change up every so often. Some of them you can tell will still be the same, but I just love how it acts out, because that's how Dragon Ball Z clashes are. Most of the time it is just two guys just fighting and clashing, even though they'll be like the little, you know, they'll be disappearing back and forth. The way they have the clash system set up, I like it. I enjoy it. So I really enjoy how they put the clash system into it. The one thing I can say is, the one main gripe is that I wish the charge meter could actually charge, because while it's charging while you beat the crap out of somebody, when it's charging by itself, it's not really something that you can get into. It's like, well, it's charging. I just gotta sit here and wait for 5 minutes and it'll charge. I'm fine. Super Saiyan, wait. Activate ultimate attack, which is mainly hitting down circle, and you'll do the attack that you have pre-selected for your character. Mainly you can spam most projectiles in this game because it doesn't really take a damn dent in your meter. All it does is take like maybe just a small bit, but you can still spam it like there's no tomorrow. So it kind of makes the game kind of really cheap, but if you just use it, if you just play fair and not play to have fun, it's not that bad. It'll be actually a very good experience for you and your friends. With friends, I would recommend it because y'all will have the most fun time, you know, mashing buttons to see who gets faster, trying to, you know, outdo your friends and flying around to dodge all their attacks. Where the computers kind of basically beat the crap out of the computer and win. And the AI is AI. They will try to go for the special attack the entire time, but they won't do much. The story mode, I have to respect for it will get challenging at the time, but once you understand it and get through it, you can easily beat it, and they grade you every time. So depending on how your rank is, also depending on how you do good in there, also depends on how your rank goes. So you pretty much, if you get your special attack, burst, Super Saiyan, everything, it'll give you like a Z, which is the highest grade, and the lowest one I think is maybe an F or something, but the lowest I've gotten is a B. So it's not that hard, but it unlocks the harder difficulties as you beat it along. So if it has some replayability if you want to challenge yourself later on, but I say just get to the story mode normally and you'll have the best time with it. So I honestly enjoyed Burst Limit. I honestly would take it into consideration as a game to go buy and play. It's not terrible like Ultimate Tenkaichi, which I hate because the story mode still is in there. It still has the nice little flows. It still has those moments. And what makes it also interesting is when you start off a fight, whether in versus mode, the story mode, they have these mini cutscenes to where either you both collide attacks, y'all fight for a bit, and then y'all go to separate ways and then continue the main fight. Or one person gets hit, they get comboed, and then they recover and they start the main fight. No damage is done during that time. It's just like they got hit freely and they're like, oh, you know what, I just shook it off. I'm ready to fight again. Let's go. You just did nothing. That's all you did. You did nothing. Or it's just like they're dodging their attacks, avoiding it. It's very complex cutscenes. Each one has their own taste to it, and I like it. I like it the most. So I say, if you're actually gonna do it, look into the cutscenes and everything. It really takes a lot of time to take out and people to do that. So what I would say, get Burst Limit. You'll enjoy it. You'll have fun. They need to make Burst Limit too, and like try not to change it to where GT and everything how it's been. Try to make it to where make some more what ifs. Make some what ifs. What ifs are always fun. What ifs always make the game better. And I love how they added the movie at the end where you get to fight as Broly and just beat the crap out of everybody. And you play as Bardock and you beat the crap out of everybody too at the same time. But you go on to fight your son so you can both have a good match together. So it's actually really good. Like they do have some type of what if, but I think more what ifs should be made for this. So with that said, go out there, play Burst Limit. I don't care what you do. Go find a copy, go buy one from Amazon. Burst Limit should be played. It's a really fun game and I would recommend it for people that are really good with Dragon Ball Z and who want to stay close to the franchise instead of branching off into this extra Ultimate Tenkaichi stuff that we're never going to talk about. But with that said, I heard news that they're going to be releasing an HD collection of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 and 3. I am going to get it so I can play that for y'all because I love 3. 3 was my favorite. And with that said, JFGamers1 signing out, and I'm going to be taking a break from the Dragon Ball Z reviews, even though I haven't been doing the comments. It's like my second one. But the reason why is due to certain disc information. They have been really hard to play, so I'm going to wait until I get better copies of them. But my next review will be Streets of Rage. With that said, JFGamers1 signing out.
us under pressure. We want them to kick in now. Get your hands up so I could shoot again. While we try to get our freedom, fighting that we come back. Yeah, won't always be so wrong. It's only cause of life that never dies. Fight it out. If you're gonna have a silent song, losing many rights, no one cares, just pass by the cries as they never know. People say sometimes you must be a heartless beast. No way we are forgetting the sights, cruel memories. Your eyes make me think about our world or describe. That night wake me so to trust my foes. Just can't sit and go. Going with the our parents, let us under pressure. We want them to kick in now. Get your hands up so I could shoot again. While we try to get our freedom, fighting that we come back. Yeah, won't always be so wrong. It's only cause of life that never dies. Fight it out. Many nights I'm being a killer, but also a savior. Though I never wanna be. Keep your hands with me to take it again. While we try to get our freedom, fighting that we come back. Yeah, won't always be so wrong. It's only for the eyes. Going with the our parents, let us under pressure. We want them to kick in now. Get your hands up so